Ladies and gentlemen, it is another big day for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, or at least somewhat a big day. Basically, there was another patch that has come out for Call of Duty Modern Warfare last night at midnight Pacific Standard Time. It seems like that's the time that they have decided to put out updates, is at midnight Pacific Standard Time. But update 1.08 came out for Modern Warfare, and I wouldn't really say it's a big update, but it's definitely a game-changing update. And what I mean by that is there's not a ton of changes that happen in this update, but the changes that did happen specifically to the weapons are pretty damn huge and are going to change the meta and the best weapons in the game for sure. And in this video today, we're not only going to go over every single thing in this update, but we're specifically going to focus in on those weapon changes that are going to affect the weapons and classes that you use in game. And hopefully this video can help you guys out a little bit. So without further ado, let's hop in and check out all of the update notes for update 1.08 in Modern Warfare. So let's just start off the video. Before we look at the small little changes to things like footsteps and challenges, let's hop into the big stuff with the weapons. So first of all, ARs. Minor hip spread adjustment to all ARs. This is almost unnoticeable. You're not really going to notice a big difference when using many weapons in the game. But basically what I think they did here is I think they just took most of the ARs and made their hip spread a little bit worse. When I was playing the game, the times that I noticed it the most was when I was moving or jumping around. That's when it seemed the hardest to get my hip fire shots actually on target. A little bit more difficult than it was prior to this patch. So that's my best guess as to what actually changed here. Now, the first weapon that actually got a nerf was the 725, and the nerf that it got was reduced range. And thank God, because this absolute behemoth of a shotgun was completely plaguing the game of Modern Warfare and everyone was using it. Now, I did get my hands on this and use it a bunch. It is still a really damn good shotgun. By far, still one of the best shotguns that has ever been in a Call of Duty game. And you can still kill people halfway across the map with it if you're using the slug round. But I will say you do get a lot more hit markers with this thing than you did before. Not an ungodly amount. Generally speaking, it's if you're only like half of your pellets hit. It's still really damn good, still overpowered, but this nerf actually did something, and it is nice to see that. I still think it could be nerfed a little bit more, but that being said, at least they did something to this thing because it was insane before. After this, another gun that definitely needed a little bit more of a nerf, the M4A1. So this got two nerfs. First of all, increased hip spread and decreased damage to the head. Now, the hip spread really didn't do much whatsoever. However, the decreased damage to the head is actually a pretty big deal. Basically, what this did is at short and medium range, you now have to get 2 headshots to reduce the bullets to kill. Previously, if you got 1 headshot, it would reduce the bullets to kill from 4 to 3. Now you have to get 2 headshots to reduce the bullets to kill from 4 to 3. So the question is this nerf big enough to make this not ridiculous anymore? And the answer is, yeah, kind of. It's not as ridiculous, but it is still definitely one of, if not the best gun in the game. If they wanted to nerf this thing so it was more middle of the road, they still have some more nerfing to do. Like I said, this gun is still really damn good. Moving on to the buffs, the first one we have here is the FAL. Now this one has reduced recoil and increased aim down sight speed. And when I saw these, I thought that this gun might have the potential to actually be pretty good. If you didn't already know, there is no fire rate cap on the FAL, which means it has potential to have a really fast time to kill. But I don't think they've reduced the recoil enough. This gun is still a 3-shot kill to the body, or 1 shot to the body and 1 shot to the head, which just compared to the other guns in this game, isn't good enough with the amount of recoil it has. When you have an M4 or a Kilo or an M13 that's just a laser beam and is still like a 4 or even a 3 bullet kill with a headshot, you are always getting outgunned by these fully automatic weapons. So it is a good buff. I just don't think it's quite enough. And then finally, we have the EBR-14, or as they said in the patch notes, the EB-14, which got increased aim down sight speed. And I think the EBR-14 or the M14 absolutely needed this, but again, it's just not quite enough. This gun has so much recoil and so much flinch that it's very difficult to use this thing. That being said, it is a 2-shot kill to the body or a 1-shot kill to the head, which does kind of make up for it. So I do think that it it does have to have a good amount of recoil. I just think it has a bit too much in the area it is right now. So again, I think the FAL and the EBR could definitely get a little bit more of a buff than they got today, but it is a good start. But I'm curious what you think. Where do you think weapons stand as of right now? Do the M14 and 725 need to be nerfed more, or are they in a good spot now? Let me know what you think down in the comments. But let's dive into the rest of the patch notes and check what those are all about. So diving right into the patch notes, by the way, they will be linked down in the description below. So the first thing is just a general fix. They said more backend fixes to prevent crashes and improve stability across all modes and all platforms. So one of the fixes that is in that statement has to do with players who have leveled up to 155 and are trying to complete all of the ribbons. If they got to around 90 to 95 ribbons, their game would just start blue screening. And apparently that general fix is going to fix that. So if you're one of those few players, that should help you out and you should be able to play the game freely again. The second thing is for the Riot Shield, once again getting another nerf. So the first thing says, fix for a bug where player using the Riot Shield would not take explosive damage during certain situations. And this has actually happened to me before, where I threw a grenade right at someone who was using a Riot Shield and they literally didn't even get a hit marker, took no damage whatsoever. So apparently this is going to be fixed now, but we'll have to wait and see in the long run to see if it's 100% fixed. And then the second thing is fixed an issue where the Riot Shield would stow on the player's back when using stim. Apparently you're supposed to be able to use stim while the Riot Shield is still out, so that should be fixed now. So up next we have footsteps, and they worded this so poorly, it is insane, but we're going to go through each point and I'll try to explain to you what exactly these two things mean. So the first point is adjusted to always play walk footstep sounds when in aim down sights and crouch independent of speed. So what I believe that this one means is before, if you were aim down sights or crouched, if you moved incredibly slowly, footstep sounds would not play. Now they should be playing, and I believe they will also be quieter than they previously were. The second part says, increase the speed in which you can remain using the walk footstep sounds by slightly pressing on the movement stick. So aside from that being just a mouthful of words, it does actually mean something, and it's very confusing. So basically beforehand, your footstep noises would be based off of your speed. If you were just walking around very slowly, that would be walking footstep speeds. But if you had your thumbstick fully pressed forward, you would all of a sudden have a louder footstep because you were moving faster. Now, if you are walking, it is all one sound of footsteps. There's no difference based off of the speed of movement, I think. Other than that, I couldn't figure out what that meant. If you have any other ideas, feel free to let me know down in the comments, because that's one of the most confusing patch notes I've ever seen. So basically the big takeaway from this one is that footstep noises are going to be more silent consistently when crouching, aiming down sights, and walking. I think that's the big takeaway from this one. So the next thing is challenge fixes, and I'm not going to go in depth reading all three of these. They're very small things. You can pause it and read it if you really want to. But the important thing is they actually fixed the weapon camos. Now, if you go into your weapon camos, it actually displays the amount of kills you need with specific weapons doing specific things. It says 72 out of 100 or 72 out of 200 or whatever, instead of just displaying a 0 out of 100 and you had to guess how many more kills you needed with that weapon. It actually works now. You can actually see how many more kills you need, which is very, very nice. Now, the final small update is to Piccadilly. No, they did not remove the map from the rotation, but they did make some changes to it. The first of which is spawn tuning while playing Team Deathmatch and Domination. There should be less of spawn traps now in these game modes. Basically, beforehand, you'd either get stuck at the A or C flag, and the spawns were so big that you could literally do nothing about it. It should be better now, and on top of that, in Domination, they moved the flag location from the center fountain to over where the buses are. I'm not sure how big of a change this one will actually make, but I'll have to play it more to actually see. So ladies and gentlemen, those are all of the updates in patch 1.08 for Modern Warfare. I'm curious what you guys have to say about it. Is it a good update? What else do they need to add in future updates? Personally, for me, the two big things are, number one, I think tanks need a big adjustment for ground war. They're just too damn strong and they kill people too damn easily. And the second thing is I think something needs to be done with the minimap and Ghost. Right now when you call in a UAV, nobody shows up on the minimap because everyone is using Ghost. So I'd like to see something changed there as well. But like I said, I'm curious what you guys have to say, so let me know down in the comments. Also, as always, if you enjoyed the video, it's very much appreciated if you hit that like button. And as always, guys, if you want to stay up to date on everything Modern Warfare, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn notifications on. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, guys, peace out.
We are